Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the NRW, where nerds rule the world. I'm Heather Hurt. That's P.g.a. And in this time, God, I hope everything's going to be great because I don't feel it. But the movie was good. So let's talk about it. Let's start with the trailer.
Good segue. Good segue. As soon as I saw that title, I'm like,
Hey! Hey! Do you have to play that thing where we can hear it?
Mom, I have to practice or I'll never sound good.
You'll never sound good because you're playing a bagpipe.
I have an announcement. The Barn Theater in New Jersey is ours if we want it.
We're not moving to New Jersey.
That's actually a good theater.
Ed going to offer us a 5-year contract.
Wait, what if we don't do enough business at the barn?
Well, then we're screwed.
I vote no, okay? I have a girlfriend. Les, how do you vote?
Okay, then.
Goodbye, Akron. I will not be back.
This could be the biggest mistake we've ever made.
I hate this school. No one gets me.
Hey, how come you never play sports after school?
I work at my parents' theater.
Come on, the show was great.
Yeah, but the house wasn't.
where was the audience?
Theater, it's all right, except it's not real.
Real is so overrated.
You're about to lose everything.
You know, it would be nice if just once you showed a little faith in me. I will make this work. I promise. Can you imagine your mother's face when the money comes in? Wow. I wish I knew how to do it.
We will. Good things are coming, boys. I can feel it in my bones.
Maybe that's arthritis.
Are you popular in middle school?
5 people are popular in middle school.
I'm not doing any more musicals. You don't even pay me.
Well, you're not very good.
You have to dream things into happening.
You're either all in or you're not.
You are who you are. That's it.
Things change on a dime in show business. Go. Good night.
So stop talking. You don't always get to have the last word, you know.
You're right.
Then stop talking.
I am.
I mean it.
Sweet dreams.
I knew you were going to do that.
Everything's going to be great in theaters right now. It has been out for a hot minute, so we'll probably be talking a few spoilers, but this is not going to be a long review. So don't worry too much about that. But we are going to say upfront, spoilers are probably going to happen. Everything's going to be great is about a family that's trying to run a family in the 80s trying to be professional theater humans. They want to run theaters, they want to run plays, they want to run productions. But the problem is that the arts often don't make a lot of money. Actually, I did an interview. I can't remember which one it was, but I made a joke with I think it's the director of Juliet and Romeo, where he said that every single actor has the $1 framed on their wall because it's the $1 that they've ever made in their lives. Because it's just not a moneymaker, unfortunately. If you teach, if you get big, maybe, but usually it's not a huge moneymaker, but it's a passion and a love that you have. P and I are both creatives, where he's a little bit more creative on the theatrical, on the cinematography side or the cinematic side. I'm just a theater human that just loves theater. But we get it, we understand it, but they are just trying to survive when tragedy strikes the family, and then they have to figure out how to pick up and move on. It is a story about being who you are, accepting yourself, accepting your family, and loving what you do. And sometimes reality just gets in the way of that. That's kind of the entire plot. I know it sounds weird, but that's kind of the entire plot. We have incredible actors doing incredible things, as always. The film was directed by John S. Baird and written by Stephen Rogers, both of whom I got to speak to about this. And if you go watch it, it's basically just Baird saying that it was an immaculately written script, and gave all of the credit to Stephen. So that was pretty fun to talk through. It stars Allison Janney, who plays Macy, Bryan Cranston, who plays Buddy, Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, who plays Les, Jack Chapman, who plays Derrick, Simon Rex, who plays Kyle, I'm sorry, not Kyle. Simon Rex, who plays Kyle, and Chris Cooper, who plays Walter. This is a small and connected cast, but it does take an entire village to move a mountain. So credit where credit's due. Everyone who did this did they worked really hard and deserve their credit. With that being said, Kuya, initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts from the trailer. When we reacted to that, I thought it looked good. I'm a fan of Cranston, fan of Janney. The young Ainsworth, wasn't familiar with the work of Ainsworth. So yeah, but it looked good. It reminded me of a young me in different ways, of being a fan of film, cinema, all of that, theater. More so you, I'm sure, than me. I've always wanted to dabble more, but I was in choir and music and other things in sports that there wasn't enough time in the day to just do everything I wanted to do. But yeah, just the concept from the trailer looks interesting, and I was curious, and the people involved, I was curious. So yeah, those were my initial thoughts.
Absolutely. And yes, this was a little bit more me than it was Kuya, which ironically, this movie came out at the same time that we were also talking about a lot of Shakespeare. So I really got to dive into my theatrical element, and I really enjoyed it. And I did that a lot. Stephen Rogers and I actually talked about being queer and being in theater and loving what we do and accepting who we are. And that's something that I really, really love about this film, is you get to see a young man. This is truly Stephen Rogers' story. It's about himself as a young queer boy, just trying to accept himself and trying to accept his own passions. So this is an ode to his own past. So same. Basically, I was excited to watch a goofy movie about goofy theater people. And it has an incredible lineup of cast. We saw Jonas Baird, who did Tetris last year, which Kuya and I really, really enjoyed, or 2 years ago. I don't know, time is a circle on a flat line. Whenever he did that, and I did talk to him about making period pieces in the 80s, and I feel like it is still way too early to be talking about making period pieces in the 80s. But that's just me. With that being said, QP, review time.
I wanted to like it more. Maybe, and I also temper that with, I was doing other things. More so, some of the times here, when you watch our reviews, y'all, Heather's a little not all the way locked in. I'm always locked in. But this time, I will say I wasn't as locked in as I should have been. I was in on the first half, like with Cranston and everything. But then it goes, I don't want to spoil, something changes in the film. And it then transitions. And I felt a certain way about another character. And now with this person being absent, and the other person kind of being responsible and running the show, that it fell off for me because I started not liking that person because of other things that happened situationally in the film. So I just kind of got thrown off, but I was also doing other things at the same time. So I wasn't fully locked in to like really be there. I was entertained. Janney, Cranston are good. Ainsworth, young star, gonna be phenomenal going forward. Even the older brother was great. But yeah, I just wasn't as locked in as much as I would have liked to have been. And that's on me. I was doing other things, and I should have stayed focused. So yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I need to watch it again to take from Heather, because she's done this quite a bit. So now it's on me. This film is me now in that situation that Heather finds herself sometimes.
I like how Kuya put me on blast. I do not actually do stuff like that frequently. There are a couple of films where I have been like, I can't get into this, and I'm doing it in the background. But I love being put on blast like that. But
Nothing but love, Heather. Nothing but love. I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real.
It's just like Jaws.
No, I definitely want to give this more time. The concept, everything, it felt very personal. And you spoke with I edited the interviews. Shout out to Stephen Rogers to tell his story. I think that's beautiful. And just also another maybe slight thing, but I was curious, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, how he brings in the son character, Ainsworth. He brings, I guess, in other people from like theater plays to help tell parts of the story, that just kind of threw me off. Like it just comes out of nowhere, and then is it him going into his head? I don't know. So there's just like certain story elements that I didn't exactly flow with out the rip. But I think if you're a theater person, a little bit more, you know who these people are when he was speaking to them, when he kind of self-therapy through himself in the situations that the character finds himself throughout the course of the film to help him on his journey of life.
I think you just talked yourself through it right there, but yeah.
I don't know, but it was weird how the transition happened for me in the course of the film. You know,
absolutely. There were. This movie is not a perfect film. There are definitely great elements to it, and I do love it. I think the acting across the board was really, really good with this movie. I think the writing was good, but there were moments where you're like, why did that have to happen? And one big element is Les is learning about himself. He is a queer child. He is gay, and he is being called out as gay by everyone but himself. And so he's trying to prove that he is something that he isn't. And with that being said, he uses his mental therapeutic the mental versions of playwright songs since past to give him the strength to move forward with what he wants to do. It's all very much self-gratification. It's, yeah, you can do this because I'm telling you to. I'm an old woman from the 1940s. I can tell you to do this. But it's all self-gratification in of itself because it's all in his own mind. But I do think that Benjamin Evan Ainsworth really killed that role. There are many young people that probably couldn't play off the sincerity that his character had. And there is once again, as I said, there is a tragic moment that happens, and your opinion of the parents are really changes a lot. Not trying to give away too much yet, but that's one of the things that I actually did talk about. This is during the 1980s was when the divorce boom really hit. I'm not saying divorce happens here. But this was kind of a statement on the disconnection of parenthood in the late 1980s that we saw. And the only reason, by the way, that we saw that is because of the validation of women, of believing women. You should believe women. So that's the only reason why we saw the surplus of divorcees between the 80s into the early 2000s. You just saw it happen because of the strength that was given to women and men, and everyone in between and outside of that, to accept who they are and accept that maybe some things are just broken. And I think that even though this was done in a different way, and not saying that divorce happens here, even though it was said, that was kind of, to me, and I even told this to Rogers, is to me, it felt like that was a statement on that period. And he didn't disagree. So I think I got the message correctly. But it's one of those where it's important to understand that when things happen between parents, sometimes it's mutual, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's something that that one parent might miss. And the other one needs more. So I can understand why, but at the same time, P.g.a, I think that's exactly the point. I think they wanted you to be mad at the person that does that. I think that's the whole point. And so with that being said, I think the writing was done well. This is, but to go into it, I do think this is a theater kid film. If you were not a theater kid, if you were a Jacques, if you were in the band, band, we mesh. But if you were not a theater kid, this might not be for you. It's not a bad film at all. I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed it, but this was definitely a movie targeted at me. So I could totally understand why this isn't P.g.a.'s jam. Could totally understand it. It's not that it's a bad movie, just not his jam. And I totally
watched this. I didn't say I didn't like it.
No.
Give it more. Yeah.
No, it's. I could see why you didn't love it. That's all. It's not you. You said it was a good movie. You just said.
Yeah, you're right.
No. I didn't. I'm sorry. I apologize. I wasn't putting him on blast for saying it's a bad movie. I could see why this is not his jam. That's all. But no, it's this movie was targeted at me. So with that being said, this movie is not for everybody. Could I see a lot of people put this on in the background while they're doing something just so they could see an Allison Janney and Bryan Cranston movie? Absolutely, I can. But it would be a background film for a lot of people. I won't deny that. I do think it deserves more, but once again, I also recognize the audience. Kuya P, any quick final thoughts?
Agree with all of those sentiments, as you said. That's why I was like, okay, maybe I can do this at the same time. Although I was locked in a little bit more, but then I feel because I did that, while you said you just said that you can put it on the background, although I think that detracted me. I think that was my downfall with the film. But also, as you said, the intention of the character situation that we were talking about, that I'm trying not to spoil, that perturbed me. And maybe for all the reasons. And so that's why I feel like I should have been more locked in to see maybe there's glimpses more of that character to give her some redemption there. I'm trying not to spoil, but sorry, y'all.
Yes, you just spoiled it.
You know, and but I love the intention of the film, the focus of the film. Young Ainsworth is phenomenal. Stood up amongst giants in Cranston and Janney. And so just all of that messaging there. Again, you know, not perfect. Like you said, some of the writing could have been tweaked better for me to understand when he was referring to the playwrights to help with himself. But I like that note, though. I love finding that whatever you need for yourself to help you through situations. I love that element. So a great piece. And again, devote more. For me, I feel I desire to give it more time, to give it its full attention. And I think it's when anybody's giving you art. Put the phone down, put anything down, consume the art in its entirety and yourself in your entirety is the best thing you can do to anybody giving you their art. Absolutely.
100%. My final thoughts, we didn't really talk too much about them. Jack Champion, who plays Derrick, who is the oldest son, he did a good job. But he was also supposed to kind of be that background character. And I think that's actually something he did well. He wanted to be a background character. And I think he did it phenomenally. My other thing is I really want to shout out Chris Cooper, who played Walter, who is Macy's older brother. They had a great relationship. And honestly, Cooper was one of my favorite characters. He is crass. But he has an incredible monologue in the film that just really gets you. So standout performance, even if he's only in the film for about 15 minutes. Like I thought that was phenomenal.
There's a great moment that I really appreciated when he was going off. I'm sorry. You're giving kudos to Cooper. I got to give the same when Ainsworth was kind of expressing himself and Cooper, you know, I'll allow it. And when you're ready, you know, this isn't what happened, but essentially what was like, I'll allow it, and when you're ready, you can come. You know, it was really well done. It was a great scene, and that back and forth was just bravo. Yeah.
And that's the moment I'm talking. There's a great. He does it's not like a super huge monologue, but it's a monologue that's important. I think too that is important to Les. It's something that he needs to grow up, and it's a great moment. With that being said, everything's going to be great. Is available in theaters still. It isn't limited release, so it's not like in every single theater everywhere. So definitely check your local listings, and it will be available on demand soon. If you've seen this movie, if you agree with our take, if you disagree with our take, tell us in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share, all of those things, and we will talk to y'all soon.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Yeah. Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. Kuya P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
nerds rule the world.
I got. It's in the title of your show, like nerds rule the world. Like I want more black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, nerds rule. Love
it. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes, nerds rule. Yes.
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Nerds so much.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
Do. They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.